New Japan Pro Wrestling legend Kazuchika Okada is set to become a free agent in 2024 with major interest from both WWE and AEW, but most importantly, the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion is reportedly seriously considering leaving New Japan and wrestling for another promotion. Plenty of details on this, plus we got an update on Randy Orton's storyline in WWE. Grayson Waller is nearly attacked by a fan at a WWE Live event. We've also got an update on Grayson Waller's tag team with Austin Theory. Adam Copeland speaks ahead of his match against Christian Cage on Dynamite this coming Wednesday, and Jade Cargill addresses why she's yet to make her WWE in-ring debut. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about the biggest news of the evening regarding Kazuchika Okada possibly being set to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling, the place he's called his home for several years, in 2024. Yes, the breaking news is that Kazuchika Okada is about to become a free agent, according to a report from Sports Illustrated claiming sources close to the matter. Now, the face of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Okada's current contract expires reportedly at the end of January. Now, while a new deal with New Japan would be typically underway, Okada, who is 36 years old, is seriously entertaining the possibility of wrestling for a different promotion. When Okada wrestled on Dynamite in October, the purpose of his trip was not solely to advance his feud with Bryan Danielson ahead of their Wrestle Kingdom match on January 4. That Dynamite in Philadelphia also followed and allowed Okada a chance to acquire a better sense of All Elite Wrestling, which is one of the two destinations he will land if indeed he decides to leave New Japan. Beyond AEW, the only other possibility for Okada in his mind is WWE, according to Sports Illustrated. The creative in WWE is headed by Paul Triple H Levesque, who would relish the opportunity to guide Okada to stardom in North America. One of Levesque's most trusted allies in WWE is Shawn Michaels, who oversees NXT. Nearly 3 years ago, during an interview with Sports Illustrated, Michaels touched on Okada's brilliance, saying, quotes, "Someone once asked me how Okada would adjust if he were ever in WWE. And I know the answer to that. He'd adjust fantastically because he's a fantastic talent," said Michaels, who is now WWE's Senior Vice President of Talent Development Creative. Quote, "It's like me. People would say, well, you only wrestled in the WWE, but I could have wrestled anywhere. When a guy is talented, he's talented." Now, the most recent superstar to move from New Japan to WWE, and I guess a megastar, was Shinsuke Nakamura, who signed with WWE in 2016. Though he never won the world title, Nakamura received a strong initial push in WWE. 7 years later, he's currently, I guess, into another good part of his WWE run, having just finished a World Heavyweight Championship feud with Seth freaking Rollins, and now beginning a program with WWE's top babyface, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, on Monday Night Raw. Yet, there were also prolonged stretches where the company had very little for him creatively. Now, that blame could be pinned on Vince McMahon, who is no longer overseeing creative for WWE, but Nakamura was working the Slim Jim Battle Royal as recently as this past SummerSlam. Okada, of course, is the flagship for New Japan. This would be similar to Randy Orton or Roman Reigns or John Cena leaving WWE, and his next destination is important to New Japan. There were many who expected Nakamura's run to WWE to be much shorter and that he would have already returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling, but there are no indications he plans on returning anytime soon. If Okada enters free agency, he is expected to receive a massive payday whichever company he signs for. When comparing AEW and WWE as potential destinations, there are some stark differences. Of course, WWE affords Okada the opportunity to work WrestleMania. There would also be a stacked roster awaiting his arrival where he could work matches with Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Sami Zayn, and Finn Balor. Also as well, the returning CM Punk. If Okada signed with WWE, it would be yet another significant acquisition in the company's Endeavor/TKO era, especially after just re-signing CM Punk and also signing Jade Cargill from AEW as well. But for all the potential that exists in WWE, AEW could possibly be the better fit for the Rainmaker. AEW offers a schedule where a talent at most typically works 2 shows a week. That would allow Okada to continue living in Japan, which is a priority for him, Sports Illustrated has learned. A similar situation already exists in AEW with Pac, who still lives in England, and it's also the plan for Will Ospreay, who just signed with AEW from New Japan Pro Wrestling and plans to continue living in England. There would also be no shortage of must-see matches in AEW, though none greater than a bout against eternal rival Kenny Omega. A colossal advantage for AEW that is that WWE does not have a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. This is seen as a massive advantage for All Elite Wrestling over WWE. AEW owner Tony Khan has cultivated a working partnership with New Japan, which could pay dividends here. If New Japan ever wanted Okada to return for a match at a high-profile event like Dominion or Wrestle Kingdom, that would be an easy proposition if he were working in AEW. Of course, that would not be the case, however, if Okada signed with WWE. The destination as of right now remains unknown, but all signs point to Okada seriously exploring free agency in 2024. Of course, it has been recently reported by Dave Meltzer that one of the reasons for the recent significant repush of Shinsuke Nakamura in WWE was if Kazuchika Okada became a free agent, an indication to Okada that yes, you can receive a substantial push if indeed you sign with WWE, and WWE has changed when it comes to how they promote foreign talent, specifically talent from Japan. Now, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful has also confirmed the reporting by Sports Illustrated, posting the following tweet saying, quote, "We've been able to confirm Justin Barrasso's Sports Illustrated report that Kazuchika Okada is a free agent in 2024. He would be a huge get for WWE or AEW and a monumental loss for New Japan Pro Wrestling." So what are your thoughts on this story? Where do you think Kazuchika Okada is going to end up? Do you think he's going to ultimately stay with New Japan? Do you think he could make the big step and go to WWE, considering WWE is red hot right now, selling a lot of tickets, making big signings, pushing Japanese talent like Shinsuke Nakamura? Or do you think, as the report hints at from Sports Illustrated, that because of the already working relationship with New Japan and AEW, because of the fact Okada's already done a couple of appearances with AEW, and because Okada would be able to stay in Japan and work a schedule that he likes, do you think that Okada will instead become All Elite? Where do you think Okada's going to end up? Let me know your thoughts on this, as always, in the comment section below. Now, Randy Orton. We have an update on Randy Orton as well, as he has just returned to WWE. Randy Orton is back in WWE after a year and a half away and is primed for a big angle now that he's joined SmackDown. However, he did make a Raw appearance before signing with the Blue brand. Now, Orton was absent, of course, from WWE television during the draft and was not assigned a brand at that point. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, WWE wanted to capitalize off the buzz of his return and put him on last week's episode of Raw and gave him the main event match of the evening, which allowed him reportedly to wrap up a couple of storylines that he had going on prior to his return to the company. Now, when it comes to a storyline that WWE wanted him to have closure on, one was this issue with Jey Uso, as they've long been attempting to position Uso as a babyface on the Raw side of things. However, WWE wanted to neatly tie up that story with the history referenced on WWE television numerous times. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, they also gave a bit of closure to the brief Judgment Day story that brought Randy Orton back to television as well. Of course, they managed this by having the match against Dominic Mysterio. They also managed this by having a backstage segment in which Randy Orton said that he had no problem with Jey Uso also. However, Orton's next path does seem clear, doesn't it? And that is the bloodline. There's a lot more that indicates him being prepared for such as well. On both Raw and SmackDown this past week, are also produced by Hayes. The majority of the bloodline contingent storylines have had Hayes as the producer. Therefore, with Hayes now producing Randy Orton segments, that would imply that Orton is being sort of transitioned into this bloodline universe by the person that produces it all. Now, Orton signed with WWE SmackDown in storyline because Nick Aldis offered him a match with the Bloodline after they took him out of action in kayfabe. Fightful have been told WWE has been happy with Orton's return, his conditioning, and his performance thus far. Now, let's switch gears here and talk about an incident that happened at a WWE live event recently involving Grayson Waller actually being attacked, or nearly attacked, by a fan in attendance. Grayson Waller must be doing something right as a heel, I guess, as a video from a recent live event in Newark, Delaware, Delaware shows a fan jumping the guardrail to try and attack the Australian WWE superstar, and the Spotlight News has shared the footage on social media, which we can show you right now. As you can see here, the fan in attendance is sort of being wrestled away by security. Grayson Waller very quickly kind of sort of gets away from things. Fortunately, security managed to apprehend the angry fan before he could attack Waller. That said, the WWE star didn't seem too fazed by his would-be attacker, and the match carried on as per normal. Waller teamed up with fellow heel Austin Theory to face Cameron Grimes and Odyssey Jones at the event, which took place on Sunday evening. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think the situation is? Do you think this is a good thing that a heel is getting this kind of attention and this kind of heat from people inside the arena? Let me know your thoughts about that. But also, since we're speaking about Grayson Waller, we can actually give you some more information about this budding tag team that we've seen with Austin Theory on WWE television as of late, because details have emerged on creative plans changing actually for the two stars. Now, shortly after Grayson Waller's WWE main roster in-ring debut, the rising star was paired with former United States champion Austin Theory. Waller and Theory have been wrestling as A-Town Down Under since September, a team which those within WWE reportedly love. Per WrestleVotes, there has been tremendous support for the team of Waller and Theory in recent weeks. Noting that the duo's team was originally only going to be a short-term act, WrestleVotes tweeted out the following quote: "We've heard over the past few weeks of tremendous support for the team of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Source and Creative has said it was meant to be a short-term pairing, but those plans have changed. The expectation is that the brash young team may benefit from the mutual partnership in the long run. Expect the duo to play a strong role in programming through Mania." Now, Kevin Owens, of course, recently pinned Grayson Waller on the most recent episode of SmackDown. Theory and Waller in recent weeks have been involved in a feud with Kevin Owens, as well as being involved in feuds with other members of the roster, including LA Knight. What are your thoughts on this pairing, and how far do you think they can go on WWE TV? Now, speaking of tag teams, this coming week on AEW Dynamite, we'll see former tag team partners and best friends face off. Adam Copeland has commented on his upcoming AEW Dynamite match against his best friend Christian Cage on December 6th. Edge, Adam Copeland, made his AEW debut at the climax of AEW Wrestle Dream in October, where he confronted his real-life best friend Christian Cage. In the months since, Copeland has refused to fight Christian, with Christian avoiding confrontation during their trios match at Full Gear. However, the two friends are set for their first singles match in 13 years and their first in AEW on this week's AEW Dynamite show in Montreal, Canada for Cage's TNT Championship. Taking to social media, Copeland reflected on their friendship and careers ahead of the bout. He wrote the following quote: "For 40 years, we've been through everything together. Triumphs, losses, births, deaths, forced retirements. Wednesday on AEW Dynamite, we face each other for the first time in 13 years. We haven't wrestled each other for a title in 22 years. The TNT Championship. After both being told we'd never do this again. In Canada, main event, bring it Montreal. I will. Hashtag Cope versus Cage." What do you think the outcome of this one is going to be? Could Adam Copeland win the TNT Championship? Is Christian going to retain? If he does retain, how is he going to do it? Let me know your predictions about that as well. Now, a bit of an update on Jade Cargill. So many people are wondering what's actually going on with Jade Cargill at the moment. Well, the former AEW TBS champion Jade Cargill signed with WWE officially on September 26, with her making her first appearance on WWE television on the kickoff show for WWE Fastlane that weekend. Jade has made numerous appearances on television since, with her appearing in segments with Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. Jade's last appearance on television came during night one of NXT Halloween Havoc, where she watched the NXT Women's Championship main event bout between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Triple H discussed Jade's progress during the Survivor Series media scrum and her training at the WWE Performance Center recently. Jade spoke to Dallas News, where she was asked about her progress and being yet to actually make her official WWE in-ring debut. She said, quote, "So, you want me to reveal what we have in the works, it seems like. So listen, I think the fan base should be patient. I think they need to understand we're making a diamond. We're creating something that's going to be a legacy. We're creating something that's going to create echoes and waves throughout not just the wrestling culture, but pop culture and beyond. They're setting me up for success. You shouldn't rush success. I've been on TV in front of thousands of people several times. One thing I know how to do is entertain a crowd. And no one can say different. I can do that. The WWE Universe knows exactly what they're doing. I trust them. I believe in this system. And when they see me in that ring, understand that there's no turning back. WWE is believing in everything I'm doing, giving me everything I could fathom, and I'm going to be ready. I'm already ready. But again, it's on my time, and everybody should be patient. And when I come, just understand I'm I'm taking over. Jade was then asked about any potential targets she may have when the time of her debut does indeed come, or if she will simply trust the WWE process. She responded, quote, "You'll just have to wait and see. Just know when I start, there's no stopping. There's no breaks and everybody should be elated. So whomever wants to come get it, I got it. I'm just going to give out work." Now, Jade was recently in attendance for the Big 12 game, where she was joined by names such as The Undertaker, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. So certainly, despite her not actually wrestling a match yet, they're already having her doing big PR events as well. But there you go, guys. This is the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.